The day you realize she never lost feelings, she just lost respect, is the day your entire dating life changes. And once you understand why that happens, you will never chase love the same way again. Listen carefully. Most men are taught to believe that attraction is built through effort. More texts, more reassurance, more proving, more explaining. You think if you just show her how much you care, she'll feel safe enough to stay. But here's the uncomfortable truth no one told you. Attraction doesn't grow from convincing, it grows from emotional stability. When a woman starts pulling back, most men react with urgency. You double text, you overanalyze, you try to fix whatever shifted, and in that moment, you unknowingly flip the power dynamic. Not because she's evil, not because women are manipulative, but because human psychology is wired to move towards strength and away from emotional pressure. Women are highly attuned to emotional cues. It's not about logic, it's about feeling. When she senses that your mood depends on her response time, your confidence depends on her validation, or your peace depends on her approval, something changes inside her. She doesn't consciously decide to lose attraction. It fades because emotional weight replaces emotional magnetism. Here's what most men don't realize. A woman doesn't test you to hurt you. She observes you to understand you. When she becomes distant, she's unconsciously asking one question: is he stable without me? And if your energy says, I need you to feel okay, her instinct says, he's not grounded. This isn't about being cold, it's about being centered. There is a difference between love and emotional dependence. Love says, I choose you. Dependence says, I need you. And that subtle difference changes everything. Strong attraction is built when a man has direction beyond the relationship, purpose beyond her attention, emotional control beyond temporary discomfort. When you stay calm while she's unsure, you communicate something powerful without words. You are not afraid of losing her. And fearlessness is attractive, not arrogance, not indifference, stability. Most relationships don't collapse because of lack of love. They collapse because one person slowly loses respect for the other's emotional strength. Respect fuels attraction. When respect drops, desire follows. You were never supposed to be perfect. You were supposed to be grounded. Once you understand that women respond more to how you carry yourself than to what you promise, you stop over-explaining. You stop chasing reassurance. You stop performing for approval. And suddenly, something shifts. She leans in, not because you tried harder, but because you stopped trying to control what you can't control. That's the first truth most men never hear. And once you internalize it, the game changes forever. Because attraction isn't about doing more, it's about needing less. And that's where your power actually begins. Here's the part no one wants to admit. The moment you start prioritizing her mood over your mission, you begin to lose leverage in the relationship. This isn't about dominance, it's about psychological balance. Many men slowly abandon their routines, their discipline, their friendships, even their ambitions, the moment they fall deeply for someone. You call it love, you call it commitment, but from a psychological perspective, what you're actually doing is narrowing your identity down to one source of emotional reward, and that creates pressure. When a woman senses that she has become your only source of excitement, validation, and emotional fulfillment, she may initially feel flattered. But over time, something subtle shifts. The dynamic becomes heavy, predictable, safe in a way that removes tension. Healthy attraction thrives in polarity. Not chaos, not drama, but contrast. When you have a world that doesn't revolve around her, she feels invited into your life. When your world revolves around her, she feels responsible for it. And responsibility kills romance. Think about this carefully. Why do people often become more attractive when they're busy, focused, and slightly unavailable? It's not about playing games. It's about perceived value. Humans naturally place higher value on what is not easily controlled. When you instantly respond to every message, rearrange your schedule at a moment's notice, and constantly seek reassurance, you communicate abundance of availability. And while availability sounds good in theory, too much of it removes mystery and anticipation. Women are emotionally responsive to tension, not stress, but tension. The small space between interactions, the curiosity of not knowing exactly what you're thinking, the feeling that you are self-contained. When she knows you'll always be there, no matter how she behaves, her emotional investment can slowly decline. Not because she's malicious, but because certainty without effort reduces perceived value. Effort increases attachment. When a woman feels she must show up with her best energy to keep your attention, she invests. When she feels your attention is guaranteed, investment drops. This is not about manipulation. It's about understanding human psychology. You should be kind. You should be respectful. But you should never sacrifice your standards, your time, or your direction just to maintain someone's temporary approval. The strongest position you can hold in any relationship is emotional self-sufficiency. When she cancels plans and you calmly say, "No problem, I'll catch up with you later," and continue your life without resentment, you communicate confidence. When she tests your boundaries and you respond with clarity instead of anger, you communicate strength. When she senses that you enjoy her presence but don't depend on it, attraction deepens. Most men think they lose women because they didn't do enough. In reality, they lost themselves first. And once you lose yourself, she feels it immediately. The shift happens when you reclaim your center, when your purpose is non-negotiable, when your peace is not up for trade. That's when the dynamic changes. Not through force, not through fear, but through grounded masculinity that doesn't need constant reassurance to feel secure. And that's when she begins to see you differently. There's a silent rule in attraction that nobody teaches you. The person who is most comfortable walking away holds the strongest position, not because they want to leave, but because they're not afraid to. Fear is the invisible force that destroys polarity. When you're afraid to lose her, you unconsciously start negotiating your standards. You tolerate subtle disrespect. You laugh off behavior that actually bothers you. You silence your opinions to avoid conflict. And every time you do that, something inside her registers it. Attraction is deeply connected to emotional congruence. When your words say, "I'm confident," but your behavior says, "Please don't leave me," she feels the mismatch. And people trust energy more than language. Here's what most men misunderstand about boundaries. A boundary isn't controlling someone else. It's controlling what you allow into your life. It's calm. It's steady. It doesn't shout. When you calmly say, "I don't do last-minute cancellations often. If it keeps happening, I'll just plan my time differently." You're not threatening, you're communicating standards, and standards create respect. When respect rises, attraction stabilizes. Women, like all humans, feel safest with someone who is predictable in character, not predictable in behavior. Predictable in character means your values don't shift based on emotion. You don't become overly sweet when things are good and bitter when things feel uncertain. You remain composed. Emotional control is rare, and rare qualities feel valuable. Many men believe intensity equals passion. They think jealousy proves care. They think constant texting proves devotion. But intensity without stability feels chaotic, not romantic. Think about the most grounded man you've ever met. He doesn't rush. He doesn't overreact. He doesn't chase validation. He listens more than he talks. When he speaks, it's measured. When he commits, it's intentional. That presence creates psychological safety. Safety is what allows attraction to breathe long-term. When a woman senses that you are willing to walk away from disrespect, not from ego but from self-respect, she sees you as emotionally mature. And maturity is magnetic. This doesn't mean you become distant or cold. It means you stop negotiating your worth. If she pulls away, you don't panic. You observe. If she becomes inconsistent, you don't argue. You adjust. If she disrespects your time, you don't explode. You reduce access. Access is a privilege, not an obligation. The truth most men never hear is this: the more you fear losing her, the more likely you are to behave in ways that push her away. But when you truly accept that you will be fine, emotionally, socially, financially, spiritually, with or without her, your energy shifts, and people respond to that shift instantly. Because confidence is not loud, it's calm. It's the quiet understanding that you are the prize of your own life. And once you carry yourself like that, the dynamic flips. Not because you demanded it, but because you embodied it. Now here's the truth that changes everything. The moment you stop trying to win women is the moment you actually become attractive to them. Most men approach dating like a performance. Say the right lines, dress the right way, time the right texts, avoid the wrong moves. You're calculating, adjusting, trying to optimize every interaction so you don't mess it up. But attraction isn't built on perfection. It's built on authenticity combined with strength. When you're constantly trying to impress, you subtly communicate that you're seeking approval. And approval-seeking energy is easy to sense. It feels like pressure. It feels like you're asking her to validate your worth. But when you show up as you are, direct, grounded, self-assured, without trying to over-deliver or over-explain, something powerful happens. The interaction feels lighter, real, unforced. Women are not attracted to men who try to be everything. They're drawn to men who are deeply comfortable being themselves. That comfort comes from inner work, from building a body you respect, from developing skills that create independence, from facing your insecurities instead of masking them, from having a life that feels meaningful even when you're alone. When your identity is solid, dating becomes addition, not completion. And here's the secret most men overlook. Women are not finished when you learn psychology. They're relieved. Relieved to meet a man who doesn't collapse under emotional pressure. Relieved to meet someone who understands boundaries without hostility. Relieved to feel attraction without chaos. Healthy female psychology responds to grounded masculinity, not manipulation, not control, not mind games. If you use psychological insight to dominate or deceive, you'll attract unstable dynamics. But if you use it to regulate yourself, to remain calm, decisive, and respectful, you create stability. Stability is rare. In a world of impulsive reactions, instant gratification, and fragile egos, the man who moves slowly, thinks clearly, and speaks intentionally stands out immediately. And here's the deeper layer. When you stop fearing rejection, you stop over-investing too early. When you stop over-investing, you allow her space to invest. When she invests, attachment forms naturally. You don't chase attraction. You create the conditions for it. That's the shift. You become selective, not judgmental, selective. You observe how she treats you. You notice consistency. You pay attention to effort. And if it's not aligned, you calmly step back. No anger, no speeches, just movement. Because your time is valuable, and when you treat your time as valuable, others follow. So here's the question I want you to answer honestly. In your last relationship or dating situation, did you operate from strength or from fear of losing them? Be real with yourself. Drop your answer in the comments. I read them, and if this message shifted your perspective even slightly, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this before they lose themselves trying to keep someone else. Your power was never in controlling women. It was always in controlling yourself.